Hello, we're talking to Paul Jacob today outside the Oklahoma County Courthouse, and he has just gotten out of a scheduling hearing. So, Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I live in a world that's a little more frightening than most of us would like, but I'm holding up well and feel good about pushing this fight and defending ourselves and defending this process.
Okay, and what exactly happened in here today that you can share with us?
Well, today was a scheduling hearing and scheduling the preliminary hearing where the state will present evidence. The idea of a preliminary hearing is for the state to hear evidence and for a judge to decide whether to go on to trial. Something like 99% of the time they do go on to a trial, so I don't know how much hope we really should have that the AG won't be able to convince a judge to at least go on to the trial, but we will at least get that first day in court. It will be July 23rd, and if the preliminary hearing isn't completed on July 23rd, then it'll be completed on July 25th. So that's something that at least finally we'll get a day in court, and it won't be the ultimate day where we'll really be able to defend ourselves, but at least this is the first step in the process.
Instead of being tried in the newspapers, right?
Yes, that's true. It's here there's been very little coverage really overall, I think, on what's going on, and unfortunately it seems like most of the people who know about this are people who use the initiative process, and my biggest concern is that this whole fiasco, this attempt to attack us for using the petition process, has scared an awful lot of people who are afraid to use the process, intimidated away from the process. So I think the more that we can publicize it, and this preliminary hearing will be a little bit of an opportunity for that, the better, because the more people know, I think the more that they will realize not only that this process is important, but it's something that we need to continue to use and defend, because this is the best way to put a check on our government from the citizens directly.
Now we have you have two audiences here, really. You have the folks in Oklahoma who are concerned about this because it's going to actually affect our law, be used as a precedent in the future. And then you have the more national audience. What would you like to say to the Oklahomans?
Well, I think people in Oklahoma have a real opportunity to protect this process and to help defend those of us who have used it, who are now under attack from the powers that be. And one thing I would encourage people who live in Oklahoma to come out on July 23rd here in Oklahoma City and show your support for the Oklahoma 3 and for the process of voter initiatives. I think also people in Oklahoma most people who read the newspaper have not heard enough about this case, so I would encourage people to send letters to the editor of your local newspaper. If there are blogs that you read and follow, certainly comment on those blogs, encourage them to cover this story. I feel like the more people know about what's happening in this ridiculous prosecution, 100% politically motivated by the AG, the better for us and the better for the process of voter initiative. So I encourage people, come to Oklahoma City on July 23rd and be here to defend the Oklahoma 3 and the voter initiative process, and do everything you can to let local media, talk radio, blogs, newspapers, call your local radio station, write your local newspaper, comment on your local blog, and let people know what's going on.
Okay. And then outside of Oklahoma, you have people with the Sam Adams Alliance and Sam Adams Foundation and the Free Paul Jacob organization and several others that have been following this. What can all of those blog readers and those people do?
Well, I think we've gotten a tremendous amount of coverage around the country. I've been to Washington State. I've been to Tennessee and Arkansas and around the country, and we're planning trips to Nevada and other states to talk about the process there Recently there was a bill that passed in Nebraska to do what Oklahoma has already on the books, which is to deny people who petition the ability to come in from another state and help folks who want to put something on the ballot there. These are all pushed by legislators who despise this initiative process because it takes away their monopoly on passing laws. It's something that is opposed by special interests because they like the ability to work through the legislature and to deny citizens a way to go over politicians' heads. So those people out there, there are still threats in Missouri, in Massachusetts, efforts to make the process harder to use, and those threats are something that activists can continue to battle. We've got to get the word out to more and more people because Americans support the voter initiative process, but unfortunately the mainstream media has done a terrible job or no job at all in terms of informing people about the attacks that are being made on this process. So if you're out there and you have a blog, we need you to cover this. The mainstream media is not going to do it, at least not to the degree that it needs to be done. So please go to freepauljacob.com. You can go to citizensincharge.org. Get information on this, and probably the best place to get information on the voter initiative process is ballotpedia.org. Ballotpedia is a new website. It's a wiki-based site and has more information on the initiative process than you can get anywhere under the sun. So go there, learn about our case at freepauljacob.com, learn about what's happening in your state at ballotpedia.org, and start to speak out. This is a battle between the powerful and the people have got to start to get more organized and fight back. So please do that. You can do it on the web, and I encourage people who are anywhere close to Oklahoma to consider coming down on July 23rd and being part of the effort here to make a statement that we're not going to let a powerful and vindictive Attorney General try to put people in prison for 10 years for abiding by the law and running a petition drive that the powers that be don't like.
Okay, and we just really appreciate you coming here and talking with us today, and we know you must be exhausted. You've made this a stop on part of the Save the Initiative blog tour that you had started last couple months ago. Do you have any news for us on that? What might be coming up next?
Well, we have a number of states that we've already talked to people about going there. We've been to several states. There are efforts in many more that are ongoing, and we will be hitting other initiative states: Colorado, Nevada, Montana, and all the initiative states. In the end, we'll try to get to, because this is something that the attacks are really being orchestrated on a national level by people who see that the voter initiative process is the one way that people can really take back their government, that citizens can reassert their control. So we will be alerting people more and more. They can get the information, like I said, at ballotpedia.org. They can also get information on the Save the Initiative blog tour at freepauljacob.com.
All right. Well, thanks for talking with us today, Paul. We wish you luck.
Thanks very much.